Hi, my name is Melissa French, and I'm currently a student at Carwh Health Education and Counseling Institute, Mount Nebo campus in Jamaica. I'm currently studying in Geriatric Nursing International Diploma Level 2 program, and I've had a wonderful experience so far in the program. Classes have been online, which is easy for me as a mom and a working professional at the moment. I must say thank you so much for Professor Jarrett and Nurse Ellis for accommodating me in this program. I was a late comer to the program, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it so far. Learning about the different topics, the human anatomy and physiology, even though I had some basic knowledge, it was eye-opening for me what it took for us to be trained as healthcare professionals. And this opportunity is a wonderful one for anybody who's looking to change a career and find something that will assist them in the future. So thank you so much to Carwh and Professor Jarrett and Nurse Ellis for this wonderful program.
As a country, Jamaica has come a long way. Jamaica celebrates 60 glorious years of independence on August 6, 2022. Jamaica is a gorgeous country. The locals are great, helpful and friendly. Jamaica, a Caribbean island nation, has a lush landscape of mountains, rainforests and reef-lined beaches. Jamaica is famed with the birthplace of reggae music, and its capital, Kingston, is home to Bob Marley Museum, dedicated to the famous singer. With a population of close to 3 million, we are regarded as the trendsetters in the Caribbean and even the world. Come and relax with Carwh, the discussion segment of Health Education and Counseling Institute, the premier online training institution in the world, will focus on this beautiful island of ours, Jamaica, the place to be. Join host, media and marketing specialist and professor of media studies for over 30 years, Ambassador Professor Reverend Dr. Colin O. Jarrett from Jamaica, as he guides the discussion with the experts on where Jamaica has come from as a nation and where it hopes to be based on the 2030 vision and beyond. Carwh, reaching people where they are, leading them to where they should go. Wow, 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 wow. Welcome back. Emancipation Day is another public holiday that is part of a week-long cultural celebration in Jamaica, starting on August 1 and ending on Independence Day, August 6. It commemorates emancipation of the British West Indies in the 1830s and the Slavery Abolition Act of 1833. As a nation, we have grown in many areas: trade, tourism, sports, education, culture, music, among other areas. In the colors of our Jamaican flag, black depicts the strength and creativity of the people, gold, the natural wealth and beauty of sunlight, and green, hope and agricultural resources. Of significance, the flag in Jamaica is unique compared to other flags around the world, in that it is the only flag that does not contain one of the following colors: red, white, or blue. Our guest on Come and Relax with Carwh is award-winning writer, actress, storyteller, founder, artistic director of Tukuma, the Storytelling Foundation in Jamaica, Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks. This distinguished guest holds a PhD in cultural studies from the University of the West Indies and is vocal that storytelling is a tool for holistic development. She speaks fluently in English and Jamaican. All of Jamaica, young and old, including those in the diaspora, the Caribbean and the world, know of or know Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks. The tour with trash and ready in our Jamaican colors. You wait till she come on. Welcome to the show, Dr. Blackwood Meeks. And how are you today on Emancipendence season. What could you do? Lord have mercy. Yes, real Chukuma.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed, looking so
Fabulous.
fresh and nice. Great having you on the program,
Yes.
my dear. Now tell us about how our people became emancipated.
I want
Mm-hmm.
to go back to the color of the flag
Mm-hmm.
because that is important. It's important not just because of what is absent, but because of what the absence represents. I have been troubled by this saying that we're the only flag that doesn't have the red, white, and blue.
Mm-hmm.
That's not altogether accurate.
Mm.
Until about 6 or 7 years ago, there were, well, more than that, there were five other flags. The flag of Tanganyika, which later became Tanzania, some of us say
Mm-hmm.
Tanzania, didn't have any of those colors either. The flag of Mauritania doesn't have any of those colors either. And until recently, the flag of Libya was only one solid green.
Mm.
And when they have added colors, then they tend to have added gold and red. So I said that it's not just what the flag, what colors the flag has or doesn't have.
Mm.
It's that our flag pattern is born of our colonial history. That the original colors of the Jamaican flag that was proposed, and I can't recall now whether it was a competition, but I believe that at least five designs were submitted.
Mhm, mhm,
One of them having that cross where our gold is, was in fact patterned of one of the Scottish representations of their own flag, the
mhm.
blue and white of St. Andrew. Yes,
Oh,
yes,
oh,
indeed.
oh.
And yes, indeed. And there are several iterations of it. One is just having those two colors as stripes across, one as a tricolor coming down. I'm going from memory now because I haven't
Mhm,
looked at it recently. But certainly the cross was the white, and the hoist and the fly were the blue. And some wise person said, but we can't have a flag that look like Scotland. And that's how we are trying to come from. And then we have what we have. I
mhm,
don't know if that, I don't know what is the significance of that, but it seems to be significant to many of us that we don't have the colors of the red, white, and blue
mhm,
and what those represent. But there are many flags around us that represent what we are after that have red. I'm thinking of the golden arrowhead of Guyana. I'm thinking of the South African flag, it having red. I'm thinking of the flag of Grenada, which I believe because it represents the Spice Island,
It would have been
must have
right.
been it's a red out of the
Mhm,
nutmeg.
mhm,
So I don't know if it is an indictment because how many countries are there in the world? How many patterns can we have and how many colors can we have? But because it has been raised and because you raise it, I think it is something that we need to engage with.
mhm.
What is the significance of the colors that we choose to represent ourselves? Because we could have choose Marcus Garvey, you know. If we
True.
add the red, then we have the colors of the UNIA
Mhm,
representing the international reach, the international citizenship, long before that phrase was current, of our first national hero, Marcus Messiah Garvey. And then if we go there, we would see how Marcus Garvey's colors and his black star, representing the black star liner, has been used by other African countries, most notably by Ghana, that in the ceiling of the Parliament of Ghana is the Black Star. And I believe that their football team is called Black Lions, if I am not mistaken at this point in time. So that whatever colors we have used to represent ourselves, because Jamaica, if Jamaica was 1 inch bigger, we would have been a world power. Because of that, the things that we do and how we represent ourselves have impacted the world. There are famous, I'm not going to call their names now because we now give them no free publicity, but some of the biggest designers in the world have used the Jamaican colors in their clothing, in their belts, in their shoes. So that says something about our presence in this space. So I wanted to say that. And then now to go back to what you asked about how did
Yeah,
we
man. Become
emancipated?
emancipated. I like the background, you're a real teacher. I like that background. Real teacher. See how you get up in your seat, yes, man.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Emancipated from mental
Yes,
slavery.
yes, indeed. How did we become emancipated from chattel slavery? We became emancipated because we knew what freedom was. You can't want something you don't know. So when we were captured, we knew what freedom was. You and I were at an event on the weekend that the Nigerians performed at.
Mm.
And during after
Excellent.
the performance, I said, and now see where the burro come from.
We hear you.
I have done some work, not enough, but a little bit of work on Junkanoo. And so I know that the story of Junkanoo that all of us in the region have in different iterations and by different names was in fact the story of an African village that absolutely challenged the slave raiders, challenged them. And some of them dead pan African soil. And some of them never did, but they managed to capture us. And we brought that story in the masquerade because we're accustomed to masquerade. So I looked in the at the Nigerian performance and I saw houseboat in the beautiful hats they had
Yes.
on their heads. And I also saw, definitely I saw a burro, the little donkey, a guan with all kind of things. Some of them we didn't see. We didn't see Pitchy Patchy, which perhaps is another story about a Senegalese who was imprisoned in Senegal, one of those rebellious ones, and only had one suit of clothes for the number of days or months he was in there. And him just take off a strip and take off a strip and take off a strip until it began to look like it could have been closed. So you can't tear me up more than I can tear up myself because I have control of this. Then, of course, when we arrived here and we saw other things, we used the Junkanoo to tell stories. Olive Lewin once told me, the late great Olive Lewin, Honorable Olive Lewin once told
Oh,
me
yes.
that she was doing some research in St. Mary at Christmas time, and she saw a Junkanoo band with a goat in her spectacles and necktie. Now, she had never seen this anywhere before, so you know she's going to investigate. It turned out that a big man in the society, by which we mean have economic power and social power and perhaps political power, not necessarily partisan, but him had friends in high places, thief one little man goat. The little man goat stray into him property and him take it and refuse to give it up. And so the villagers couldn't do anything. Him bigger than them. But them set for him. And when Christmas come, them put a goat in the Jankono band and put on the spectacles and the necktie where the man did love wear. And everybody who will see it did know, say, they was talking about the goat thief. Because that's also how we tell stories. But that's the tradition that we brought with us, the masquerade. So we arrived fighting for freedom. We arrived.
What about independence? How did we become an independent nation? This is before we take the break. I would want you to answer that.
It did take too long, because the whole business of Paul Bogle in 1865 was to say, but we finished with enslavement. Where are our institutions? We need institutions that represent us. The point I'm making, Reverend Professor, is that we need to see our history as a long thread and not as disconnected blocks of time. So we carry that from Paul Bogle. Marcus Garvey pick it up. Bustamante and Norman Manley pick it up. And then we became entangled in, was it going to be independence or federation? And then we made a decision that we now federate. Oh, you mean you're now federate? We made that decision and decided and negotiated for our independence. And that negotiation is perhaps a cause of much of the Makawe Jukwi every time we want to celebrate independence. Because the first independent country in the region, Haiti, never negotiate with nobody. The original independence constitution of the Haitians, 1802, they just get up and declare to the elements, literally, we declare before the sun, the moon, the stars, God, the water, the sea, all the elements that we're free. Now, when you declare to the elements that you're free, who going to tell us it's not so? Of course, that doesn't mean that they have not had their own share of problems, because Mr. Napoleon wasn't going to take it so. And the Haitians have been paying ever since for being so daring, for stepping out in front. Now that we have a negotiated constitution, then our modern history, and by our now I mean the Caribbean modern history, and most recently the history of Barbados, the step that Barbados took last November when they celebrated their own independence, has been said to us, make we sit down and look on it, no? Make we see the extent to which it is either holding us back or moving us forward, and make us see if there is another system, another constitution that we can design for ourselves, which will take some of these maca kind of questions out of our independence celebrations.
Very well. We'll have to take a break. This is an invigorating conversation with Dr. Amina Blackwood Mix as we continue to look at where we were as a nation, where we are today, and where we hope to be for the 2030 vision. Soon come back. We'll return.
Do you want to study in a recession-proof career online? Health Education and Counseling Institute HECOIN offers International Diploma in Patient Care Technician PCT, which is a combination of nursing assistant, phlebotomy, and electrocardiogram through the American Medical Certification Association AMCA, which is internationally accredited. Visit www.hecoinglobal.com or call our WhatsApp 876-223-7204. HECOIN, your dreams can now be your reality. Health Education and Counseling Institute HECOIN offers certificates in housekeeping, food and beverage, customer care, security guard, events planning, and many other short courses, which are all offered online with 8 intakes each year. Visit www.hecoinglobal.com or call our WhatsApp 876-223-7204. HECOIN, reaching people where they are, leading them to where they should go.
Welcome back to Come and Relax with HECOIN. A very informative discussion so far with award-winning writer, actress, storyteller, founder, artistic director of Tukuma, the Storytelling Foundation in Jamaica, Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks. Now, I want to run on to this particular question. I know you will get so caught up with this question. As a nation, we have made many strides, too much to mention. But tell us about the strides we have made as a country in culture, which is your baby, music, education, tourism, trade, politics, industry, and the list goes on. But you notice I start with your baby because me know
Yeah.
you're going to get away. See your back off your hand there? Me know you're going to get away with the culture. Me know that. That is your baby. Talk to us, Dr. Blackwood Meeks.
You know, there isn't an endeavor of human beings in which a Jamaican is not just present, but is dominant. Is dominant. This little country when named Jamaica, let me start with me and then put me aside, have a storyteller that for 3 years has been awarded the International Storyteller of the Year. In that I stand on great shoulders. And I know we're thinking Louise Bennett. We're also thinking Sir Philip Sherlock, who was one of the earlier collectors of our Anansi stories. We're also thinking, and I say I want to get the prize, you know, but she don't want me call her name. This is Zora Neale Hurston, an African American who came to Jamaica in the 1930s and collected Jamaican Anansi stories and begun to explain to us the meaning of Anansi. She also collected some stories in Haiti. We have Blacker Ellis. We have Blacker Ellis and Tony Paleface, who just dominate the world with Jamaican comedy. Of course, there's also Oliver Samuels in that. We have Louise Bennett, whose works were acquired by McMaster University in Canada. And the list goes on. We can talk about our music. I mean, there's no gainsaying that our music has been dominant in the world. It's the only new form of music that we get in the 20th and 21st century. Nobody else don't have that.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. We give thanks for the only new instrument, which is the pan, the steel pan, which comes out of our sister Twin Island Republic, Trinidad and Tobago. But in terms of music, for those of us who are concerned about spirituality and spirituality as a religious experience, then we give thanks for the Rastaman, who showing people a kind of levity, that their spirituality extends to how we take care of the environment. Look how long him I try to tell us that. And we have to say that we see the impact of that as a cultural form in other places in the world. When I lived in Antigua, you know, I just remembering this now. One man bad drive me one day and park in front of me in our little lane we call the Fibre. Hello to all my Antiguan friends who are watching. And me now move and him now move because the two car cannot pass side by side. So him is going to intimidate me. What you think him do? Go in him car and turn on some reggae music and turn it up loud. Because
You don't know who you be.
me was Jamaican and it can't take me other things to intimidate me. So that is where we are in the culture. When we think of where, I've forgotten his first name now, but that wonderful athlete Warren Ware, who participated in the Olympics in the UK, the one before the last one.
Yes.
And when BBC went to interview him, him said, hold on a little bit, make I just send greetings, and him just greetings in the Jamaican language, and then the poor interviewer never know what to do. And for the rest of the Olympics, BBC a play Warren Weir, I send greetings in the Jamaican language, because our language as well Is a serious force. I don't know whether I want to call it a dominant force. I don't want to go so far, but the language is certainly very appealing. When I perform in Mexico, which is a non-English speaking place, and where I often require an interpreter, a translator, I
So what
don't
them
want
going to translate the patois?
them love it. Them absolutely
Me see your
love
face.
it.
Me
I'm
see your
telling
face.
you. Yes. And if
Really?
I name what I name, make me go to Mexico and tell a story and don't put in two Jamaican phrases in it. They're not happy at all. Of course, we know that our singers have collaborated with many international performers who also English is their first and perhaps their only language. Look here, we have a Japanese duo, you see. I don't know if they're still in Jamaica, but they lived here a long time. Maybe them come and go. You know them name? Rankin, Aki, and Saltfish. And I
Oh.
want to know why a Jamaican singing duo never think of calling themselves Rankin,
It would
Aki,
take
and
a foreigner.
so even our foods, have a special place in the hearts and minds of the rest of the world. So culturally, we are a superpower, although sometimes I recoil from the hubris of that phrase, but we are superpower, because we don't mean we want to dominate anybody, but we're recognizing the range of who we are. I once met, the first time I met a Costa Rican storyteller at a festival, he said to me, I'm going to tell a story in your honor. Big man, bigger man than me and you. And he told an Anansi story, and he said he knew no Anansi stories until Jamaicans arrived in Costa Rica. And we might ask, what did they arrive to do? Are Jamaicans build the railways, you know? And
I
not
know.
only
I
Panama,
know.
yeah. And not
I
only
heard.
Panama we go and make the what perhaps is the eighth wonder of the world in the Panama Canal. We went all over, building the world. We rebuild Europe after World War II when they mash up themselves. You see, like how Ukraine no want nothing to do with black people and they run and cross the border. You wait till the war done and then want people to rebuild them. They're coming
To Jamaica.
directly to us.
Hmm.
Are we back
All
on?
right. Yes, we are back on. Let
I thought we
us
lost
go to
connection for a while.
no,
Yes.
not where I am. No, we could never have a discussion without talking about the Jamaican language, patois, on the international scene. You have touched it. But what about our proverbs? Have those impacted our nation and the foreigners alike, do you think?
The thing about Jamaica is there are some things that you have to give. Kingston might not know it. Kingston might not know it, but the rest of Jamaica certainly knows it. Tell me whenever you are not, because I keep seeing as if we're
Oh,
being interrupted.
I don't know. I am hearing you.
So Kingston might, okay, Kingston might not know it, and there is a little problem in Kingston not knowing it because every Kingstonian come from country. But when we reach Kingston, we have the problem of thinking that we're in the bright lights now, so we can leave country behind. So when we say, does such and such an aspect of the Jamaican culture still have impact? One of the things I have to ask is where, impact for whom? Because it is still impacting people who not grow out of country. But we who grow out, I think that it is no longer impactful. I have learned that different phrases that sound like them mean the same thing, mean different things. Okay, take for example, if you're in Kingston and you want to know who is somebody's parents, they say, who are your father? And you literally mean your biological
Parents.
father. Right. If you go to St. Elizabeth, You say, who pay you? Who pay you? And by which
Really?
you mean, who raised you? Who is responsible for your upbringing? When you go to Portland now, somebody go and say, who born you? They don't
I
mean who
see.
is your mother and father. They mean whose spirit are you carrying? So you might hear somebody say, boy, I'm the dead stamp I'm grandfather. I'm grandfather won't sell. I'm grandfather born him. In grandfather's spirit come with him. And people like the Maroons who live very close to that kind of understanding of the continuity of a human spirit will not ask you who is your father. Because them not mean that. They mean to ask you who born you, whose spirit are you representing. The other and then so there are regional, local, national, and there are family proverbs. I am in the process of preparing 3 of my one-woman plays for publication, and a very eminent professor of the English language is doing the review for me. And he called me to say, Amina, know what you talk about. And he grew up in St. Elizabeth. He said, Amina, what is this phrase? And then I have to say, maybe it's my mother phrase, me no know. Because in one of the stories I write about somebody going broke up your gizmic. Because when I was little, me and my little sister then used to laugh and say, is which part of we name we gizmic? Because when you were behaving very badly, my mother, Miss Pearl, would say, if I lick you, your gizmic broke up. And so I grew up gizmic as a part of your body. I can't tell you is which part.
Yeah, but you know it's a part of the body.
But I know it's a part that your mother could have broke up. So yeah, there are important things that we need to preserve in our proverbs. It's the distilled wisdom, of what our grandparents have learned. Now, let me think about that now, because some of them not so nice. One of them just came to me, the one that said, look how dishcloth come out of buttery and gone in a hall, gone turn tablecloth. I mean, we all understand. And it might sound funny, but we're very out of order. We're saying, how you mean if you go on like you turn somebody? When the whole point of independence and emancipation should be turn somebody, don't it?
Yeah.
We all want
Yeah.
to turn somebody. But
Yeah.
we give thanks that in our folk songs, and some of our stories are preserved, the proverbs that have served us so well.
Okay. This proverb I was taught by my grandmother at the age of 5. Cock mouth kill cock. Listen
That's
for the
right.
meaning and
That's the one.
explanation in the final segment. Correct. Wow,
You're
we are learning so much. And those who are not from Jamaica can write a book about the rich history of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Do not move. Grab a bottle of water. We soon come back.
Yes, I have mine right here.
Come and relax with HeCoin with our guest, Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks, as we discuss Emancipendence, Jamaica then, now, and for the 2030 vision and beyond. The proverb given minutes ago says, cock, mouth, kill cock. The rooster was killed by his own mouth. The explanation, one should never boast, nor should one speak out of turn. We should choose our own words with care, lest we, by our own tactlessness, cause ourselves unhappiness. Not true, ma'am?
Very true. And you know that sometimes we really chat too much. You remember, yes, when we had chickpea, and the whole world can't find no cure for chickpea. And we did a call up talk show host, and I said, this is the cure, this is the cure. I said, cock, mouth, kill cock. Because them other one, I go get the recipe, them is going to make it and put it into a little tablet where them call antibiotic, and then sell it to us at a price that we cannot afford. Quietly tell somebody.
Yes. True.
But that's very true. I mean, I say it like a joke, but that's very true in an age of copyright. In an age of copyright where Jamaicans have so much of what is called indigenous knowledge systems. What have we learned by the way we have lived, especially country people live so close to the environment? If we use it, if we leverage it before we open our mouth and make other people who have economies of scale and big research university take it and sell it back to us. As a matter of fact, George Beckford, who was my economics teacher, lecturer at the university, one of his, maybe he gave many examples, but the one that has lived with me was when he said, imagine we sell our orange to foreign before we use it for vitamin C and then suck out the belly and put sugar upon the skin and send it back to we as marmalade. And that happens
True.
all the time, that we give away the best of who we are and then the little dregs come back, the marmalade, and we have to go out there and spend money because we have sugar.
Vision 2030 Jamaica is the country's first long-term strategic development plan and covers a 21-year period, 2009 to 2030. It embodies the plans and processes for the realization of a collective vision encapsulated in the statement, Jamaica, the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Are we on the right path, Dr. Blackwood Meeks, for this to be a reality for 2030?
Conceptually, philosophically, it is something to aspire to. Are we on the right path? In many instances, we are not. And one of the instances is that it hasn't trickled down to the people who we believe are menial, that they are critical to its success. How are we going to have a strong, healthy nation if the man who is paid to collect our garbage does not see himself as being important to the health system? So we have to get those people to understand that they are part of this achievement of what we aspire to. I believe that COVID-19 revealed a lot of what could hold us back from achieving Vision 2030. In COVID-19, we suddenly discover that the cashier is an essential worker. Then what did we think that she was all the time?
Exactly.
You know, that somebody need to be in the supermarket to cash out the goods, to pack up the goods, to keep the supermarket clean. And therefore we have to equip ourselves to treating them differently. We have missed Mr. Bruce Golding is quoted in the newspapers recently, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, of saying that education has been our greatest weakness. And I believe him at many levels. One of the levels at which I agree with him has to do with COVID-19 as well. That I did several sessions with primary school children online, and I was happy to do it. And in many of those sessions, I saw the parents come sit down with the children, especially during Black History Month, when I was doing a presentation called Jamaica to the World. And the children go home and they're excited, them go watch this thing. And the parents come to hear what Amina Blackwood Meeks have to say about Jamaica to the world. And I'm saying, but we lost that opportunity to consciously do activities for intergenerational bonding. So we are talking about say, these young people who don't know this and that and that, they cannot know what they have not been taught. But how now are we going to make use of the lesson we have learned, that we need to have activities for all the generations to engage in at the same time? And then for those parents or grandparents or caregivers who can't read and write, in 2022, we missed the opportunity while they were at home with their children to say, come now, at this your picnic, them a learn. So we need I believe we can still get that back. One of the things I'm seeing that might hamper our ability to fully realize Vision 2030 is the way after we come out of lockdown. We are going like the whole of we escape and we hop and down again and wake up 3 o'clock in the morning so we can sit down in the traffic for 3 hours for reach work 8 o'clock. Why? Why? Who are we creating all this wealth for? To raise children and have families. What is the value of all the wealth if when you go home you're tired and all when Sunday evening come you can't even go to Devon House go buy an ice cream with your children because you're so tired. You have to sit down. So if we could have engineered a way to combine work from home and work at the plant because of a crisis called COVID, how can we engineer that as something deliberate so that we live longer and live in a more leisurely way? You know what I think we could, with the cost of fuel and the impact of the war in Ukraine. I remember the first weekend of lockdown. Cause my friend them thinks I'm mad. Me say me enjoy it so till me could have smell the breeze. The breeze did smell sweet. Me love it. And if we could have done that in lockdown, what can we do once a month to protect the environment? You and I know that in some parts of the world, on special days in Mexico City, in London City, and other places in Europe, on some days, you pay a fine for driving your own car because you must park it and take public transport and give the environment a
A break.
chance, a break. So we need to do things to bring back our birds. Me hear people are say when last them see Jankro, because even the Jankro try and fly away from pollution. Yes. And yet we have mountains, one Jankro mountains. If the Jankro them disappear, it only gonna name Blue Mountain. And if we the Blue Mountain, the blue are gonna wash out. So all of this is part of the mix, of how we reach Vision 2030. We have to enjoy what we are creating. And sometimes we realize that what we are creating is not just money, it's a web of relationships that make us happy that we are living in this moment and that we're leaving as our legacy a way of being with other humans.
The Baptist denomination played a major role in our emancipation. As you are aware, both national heroes, Paul Bogle and Sam Sharp, were Jamaican Baptist deacons and activists. Sharp and Bogle rose to become giants of the Christian faith by challenging the dominant Christian beliefs and practices to secure our freedom and justice. You have participated in 3 emancipation series across the length and breadth of this island. Do you think Jamaicans are aware of the rich legacy of Baptists in the fight to make us free?
No, because it did take me by surprise. Take me by surprise. And when it took me by surprise, me run where? Left the Jubilee. Me run where? Left the Jubilee. Up on Seville. Okay, so one year I was invited to the Gregory Park Baptist Church for Emancipation Vigil, and I didn't know. I really didn't know that there was anybody doing emancipation except the ones that I heard announced as the official programs. I said, no, this can't be the thing rich, it move me, it's spiritual. Them start out at the top of the road and then process down into the church and then do one piece of thanksgiving. And
you see your face.
You see your face.
Yeah, man.
And then the next year now, because Seville is not so far from the St. Anne Baptist Church. Yes, me just said to my friend Wesley, you hold this, because it's 11:30. Me gone down at St. Anne Baptist Church. We go see what them are do. Me will come back and join you at 1 o'clock. And it reveals part of how we can be parochial when we think we want to do something. And perhaps that is why sometimes it is so difficult to do, that when I really practice that hand make hand clap. But the Baptists have, well, you know better than me what their contribution has been to our own spiritual experience, our own understanding of freedom. I almost want to say reinterpreting or getting our own perspectives on the teachings in the Bible about freedom and how human beings, I don't know, the Bible full of contradiction, but I also know say the first Bible come out of Africa, the oldest Christian philosophy and belief in Africa, and when it come and it get corrupted. And so once again, we were reinterpreting that through our DNA about what all of this means. And I give thanks that the Baptists are here, have been here throughout the history to shine that light on that part of our heritage.
Well, we don't want you to leave, We cannot go without you giving us a short story so that we can remember you, no matter with your nonsense, so that we can remember you from Come and Relax with Hecoin with the story. So nobody tell me you're not carrying nothing come because me know you can put it out of your head.
A short story.
Oh, okay, you can't do a short one.
Story. No, so I'm going to try to do a 5 minute. I'm going to try
5 minutes. I will leave a time that, but go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. A too long time that? That too long?
Yes, a too long. 2 minutes.
All right, I'm going to tell you about Crab then, because once upon a time, you see, Crab father was the best head maker in the whole village. Any kind of head you want, Crab father would have make it. And when he make the head, he decide what is going to go into that head. Baptist philosophy, Hecoin philosophy, whatever. He put it in that head. And one day him call him son and him say, Crab Picnic, it is time for you to go into the head making business. But Crab Picnic was very stubborn. Him said, no, we don't have to have two head maker in the same family. No better you make head and me sell it. Same father being a reasonable man agree. He make head Sunday to Saturday. Saturday morning, Crab Picnic gone to market, gone sell head. Well, one Saturday, a man come and say, Crab Picnic sell me a head. Him say, no, you have to come back next week. The man say, no, it's today I want the head. And any amount of money you make, I will double it if you sell me your head. Now, some people love money, So Crab Picnic pop off in head and give to the man. But before he give to the man, he put the two little items inside here. So, and that's why he walk sideways. And him a run go home now. Him father make a new head for him. When him reach the cross pass, him see one big dinky mini a gone. Now you know say dinky mini is a ceremony we have when somebody dead. Crab Picnic stop and have a good time till it's time to eat food. Him realize he can't eat because him out gone with the head. So him run home to make him father make a new head game. Only to find out say when in the Ghana market, him father dead. I feel him dinky mini that out of the cross pass. Crab father gone, dead and gone with the recipe, and on the account of Crab stubbornness, him never learned to make head. And from that day until this, Crab a walk around mad.
Amen.
Head no
Boy, this has been a very rich experience on Emancipendence Jamaica then, now, and for the 2030 vision and beyond. Special thanks to our guest, award-winning writer, actress, storyteller, founder, artistic director of Tukuma, the Storytelling Foundation in Jamaica, Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks. You know me love you, thank God for you.
Yes,
God bless you, my dear.
And God bless you too. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. For persons who wish to make a donation to come and relax with Hecoin and what's on for next week are in the queue. Stay tuned.
Come and Relax with Hecoin is a feature of Health Education and Counseling Institute Hecoin, the premier online educational institution in the Caribbean. For individuals, companies, and foundations that wish to donate or contribute to this program, which is primarily to provide solutions to the worldwide issues of the day, please call in or WhatsApp your donation. 1-876-223-7204 on Thursdays between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. EST, or during work hours Monday through Friday 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. EST, or email president@hecoinglobal.com. HeCoin, reaching people where they are, leading them to where they should go.
Come and relax with HeCoin, sponsored by HeCoin. I'm Ambassador Professor Reverend Dr. Colin O'Neill Jarrett, President and CEO of this 33-year-old flagship institution in Jamaica, the Caribbean, and beyond. Health Education and Counseling Institute, HeCoin. Please now receive the benediction. May the strength of God sustain us. May the power of God preserve us. May the hands of God protect us. May the way of God direct us. May the love of God go with us this day, now and forevermore. Amen. Walk with my friend. The national anthem of Jamaica. We now ask you to stand.
Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, great defenders, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, fruit be yours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica.